Hey everybody, I'm here to do the discussion for the video blog for professional counseling skills for our class for professional counseling identity and function, which is COUC 500. I'm just going to jump right into the questions since we know what the questions are. So basically, in my opinion, regarding both of the counseling sessions presented in the videos for Chapter 9, for me, both of them were very close to actual sessions. I say this because I've had the opportunity and the privilege to sit in sessions as an observer for my undergraduate practicum hours, and I also sat in sessions as a counselee. As far as which counselor I would choose, for me, that answer isn't so clear-cut because both counselors did a great job, but they used different theoretical orientations and their styles were a little different. So it really would depend on what my goals were for my counseling to go, for going to counseling. But I would use either or. Again, it just really depends on what my goals are in counseling and what I'm trying to accomplish. And both of them had their strengths and they had their weaknesses. The similarities that I observed in both counselors were that they both used some aspect of Egan's model, particularly Egan's solar technique, which is the sitting squarely, open posture, leaning in, eye contact, and they were very relaxed as opposed to me right now. So both of them, they were very engaging with their clients, and they did try genuinely to find out what their clients' needs were. Both of them opened with, stating what they observed in the last session, which is also good. So that's like an icebreaker, I guess. And both counselors validated their clients with simple nods and verbal cues like and yeah, so those were the validation techniques that I picked up. Both counselors also used open-ended questioning, which is known as Socratic questioning, which is basically to kind of steer the conversation, and it makes it easier for the counselor to kind of ask questions and probe a little bit more. And then also both counselors used paraphrasing to show the client that they were listening, and both gave the clients tasks to do, which is a good thing. Although in my opinion, I think that the second counselor was a little bit more specific on a task that he wanted his client to complete. So now I just kind of want to look at the differences that I noticed in each counselor. The first counselor was using a more client-centered approach, like the humanistic existential approach, because I think that his questioning was more based on the client's performance and how she felt about her performance, since they were talking about her job and getting a new job. And he really focused on the here and now and her accomplishments. So that's definitely for me the humanistic existential approach. And it could probably be a mix also of social cognitive, because it was not really goal oriented, but I think they were just kind of talking about her job. So I say client-centered, humanistic existential. He also did a really good job of picking up on the client's physical cues. Like when she sighed during the video, he picked that up. And then he also noticed that when she made certain comments, she was frustrated. So that was a plus on his part. For the second counselor, I think that he used a combination of social cognitive, and he also used cognitive behavioral therapy in his session. And I say this because he was really goal-oriented when he was talking to her in the video. Many of his questions were directed towards the client's actions more so than her feelings. He would give the client goals to set while they were talking, such as doing things that she liked versus what her boyfriend liked, and making suggestions to her friends, which she normally didn't do, instead of just kind of following along. And then I also found that the second counselor was slightly more engaging, like I said previously, and he was using confrontational skills to challenge the client's perspective on her situation. For example, he paraphrased a statement the client made in a previous session where he stated to her that she wanted to be more independent in her choices, but she kept doing what her boyfriend wanted to do, and he confronted her about it, and he said that was a contradiction to the goals that she set for herself. So I also think that the second counselor summarized the entire session, which included the client's thoughts, the conversations, the tasks that she needed to complete for the following week. And, I just found him to be a little bit more engaging, more conversational than the first counselor. The first counselor to me seemed a little bit scripted. But it just based on the different in theoretical frameworks or theoretical orientations that they use, either or would be good. I've sat in sessions where I found I found the different techniques used. So, and as far as like any questions, I don't have any real questions. I think for me would be just kind of like, when do we use a particular theoretical orientation towards a client? And I think we're going to learn that later on in the classes, in the different classes that we take over the summer and over the next spring. So, that would be it, guys. Thanks a lot. Looking forward to hear from you. I pray you guys are doing well. Have a good one.